Okay, good morning everyone. Here's what I'm doing today. I'm reading some chemical analysis of the lactuca plants, and I wanted to tell you how I got to this. And I have done this before, but now I want to show y'all how to do it. Okay, well, first of all, we start with chemical analysis of lactuca virosa in quotation marks to isolate the phrase. You can also write scholarly chemical analysis of lactuca virosa or lactuca. You can even just stop at lactuca and put it in quotes. And what it does is it will isolate the, I'm going to do that for you so that y'all can just see what it does. One thing I have found is that my desktop is 20 years old. I only use it to stream online. It is my version of TV. I don't do cable. I stream online. That's all I do. So I have an old CPU unit that just gets plugged in directly to my internet provider, and I stream everything online. This is my desktop screen that I keep close to me, and then I have a large big screen TV over to the side hanging on the wall that I can also plug into my unit, and then I stream live. It's not the newfangled way, but it works for me. So when we do this method, okay, what comes up is bullcrap right there, because this is Google. Google doesn't want us to find things. So what it did was it did it without quotes. And then here are all of the studies that you can find. Pharmacological effects of lactuca, what we should know about it, testimonial. This one is a myth because that is, I have read this, but this was paid for by a pharmaceutical company. But right now I am currently reading this one that came up in the search. And y'all, my head hurts. Oh my goodness, the words. I understand quite a few of these words, and I understand quite a few of the chemical procedures that they are using. The one thing that medical language is partly Latin, so I can understand that. But what I want to bring to you is here is the way for y'all to go in and read it for yourself. Now in this, the one thing that I have read that is very interesting here is and y'all know I'm going to hack this up because of my regional dialect, but the sesquiterpene lactones. Now, it says here it's found in, the ones found in these plants are remarkably diverse in the terms of their structure, properties, and proposed functions. Now, in these lactuca family have been described, including not only constitutively produced secondary metabolites, but also phytoalexins, which are only synthesized following microbial challenge, which means that stressing the plant increases this. Now what I want to tell you real quick, okay, let's see if y'all can see. I'm taking notes over here, and I am going to be breaking down this on a more easy to understand video. But I wanted to show y'all how I am arriving at these, and then I want to do a series of the chemical analysis and nutrient analysis of these plants. So the first thing I want to talk about is these sesquiterpene lactones. Now, the one that I have the worst time hacking the name up, the lactuca, is the sesquiterpene lactones. Now, what this does, I'm going to put it right here so y'all can see it. It delivers oxygen to the blood and can erase or deprogram miswritten code in the DNA. Wow. Just wow. And so, sesquiterpenes, right here, when you go to just Google what they are, to look up what they are, sesquiterpene molecules there are varieties in all kinds of plants. The one that happens to be in these lactucas is this lactuca. So that is the agent that works right there for us. Now we're going to go back to this study. Now, as I'm reading along in this, I'm also reading about phytoalexins. Now, phytoalexins are highly antimicrobial, and it tells us this in the information that it's putting down through here. But the phytoalexin name in the lactuca, right here, is lactucinin A. I'm sorry if y'all can't see that. There we go. And it's antifungal. And what it says was that, let's see, stressing the plant can increase chemical content. There is a concentration of chemicals right before bolting. So the bolting is when you've got the leaves and then the stalk starts coming up, right before the flowering. Now, I had heard many different tales of this. Now, I have had some relief from the plant before the bolting, but this is saying that that's when the largest concentration of the chemicals throughout the plant is, right before the flowering. Now, that is the same in mullein plants as well. So, I'm still on the good side as far as my harvesting and what I'm doing, because the stalks that I am cutting are right at that point, right before they start setting flower, because these cereola are smaller plants and they don't set and they don't have as tall of a stalk, and some of them have started setting seed heads. So we're still good on that. As we're gathering our leaves off of the virosa or the canadensis, as long as we're gathering them while the plant is growing up and before the flowers set, we're going to get the highest concentration of chemicals. Also, that means there is a necessity to cut the stalks before that flower head sets, because then that's going to keep the chemicals in there. And this is the process that they use in tobacco. This is the process I've been using just intuitively, because the plants seem so similar to tobacco, and that's the thing that I know. So I'm still going good, but I'm still learning more. Now, another thing that I did find out in this article is that the species can cross-pollinate, which may explain why I have these weird varieties now this year. Now, I'm also, and this is just my chemistry introduction video. We're going to have series of the chemistry of these plants as I'm finding out things. But I just wanted to show you initially how I'm deriving my information and what I'm doing with it. So, I brought y'all up to that. Now, the next thing is the seeds. I had yesterday my 12-hour day just sitting there, not doing anything, but just the windows were there and a few cars in the parking lot and a few maintenance people popping their head in to say hey. I read all kinds of stuff online. Now, pouring over it, I have, now this term that they use for it, biennial. Now, there are different meanings to the term biennial when you start talking about plants. Now, some plants die down, and for a year they're dormant, and then they come back up on then the following year. And there's actually a video that I have where I'm pondering this. What does this mean as it pertains to this plant? Now, what I read yesterday was that it's the actual seed and the plant. So these seed, and this is for the people that I sent seed out to, the seed that I collected last year and I sent out to y'all will not come up until next year. This is what I read. This also explains for you guys that ordered seed and nothing happened. That's why. The other important component about the seed is it has to have light. So if they were covered or at all, then you didn't give them what they needed. Now, because of how these plants are dormant, you can still save those seed. These seed are just sitting there waiting for the next year. So when you so wherever you have the seed, and I hope y'all didn't just throw them away. If you threw them away out in the yard, that's great though, because they'll come up next year. Still stir those seed up like nature would do. Kind of rake them up onto the grass so the sun shines on them. And I'm going to take down that video about cultivating the lactuca, because there was wrong information in that now that I know different, especially about the seed. Now, once the seed have had their, I guess, 2 years of dormancy, then they start germinating. That's why I didn't have any luck with my seed either. So, that is something that I have learned in this painfully complicated article that I am reading right now. This chemical study from the Journal of Biological Chemistry. So, this is our introduction to the chemistry of the plant and things that we are learning. What I'm planning on doing with this is making short 3 to 4 minute videos where I simply write down something like, here's the sesquiterpene lactones, here is the variety of that is in the lactucas, and here is what that does to our bodies. And then that way y'all can use it like a study guide and take notes. You can write this stuff down if you want to, but also it's compiling the information for us all to learn from. So that is this for today. I realize this was a little long. I'm going to take it easy today in between reading this and watching Justified and napping with Yoda. So, until my next video, I appreciate you guys. I want to work with you guys. I want you guys to learn this stuff for yourself. And God bless you all. And until next video, goodbye.